Okay, hello guys, karibuni sana, welcome back guys to my channel. How are you doing? I hope you guys are great, amazing, good. Welcome back to another vlog. As you have seen from the thumbnail to the title of the vlog, today it's gonna be a culture shocks video. I'm gonna be sharing culture shocks I've experienced as a Ugandan visiting Nairobi, Kenya for the second time. If you don't know yet, I'm in Nairobi, Kenya. I arrived here a couple of days ago. But by the time I arrived, I did get a little bit of, fatigue from all the movement, and I just spent a couple of days indoors. But today, I felt it wise to come over here to literally share some culture shocks, because over time, I've been visiting Nairobi, Kenya. You guys know that I've been shocked by a lot of different things as a Ugandan visiting Nairobi, Kenya. And mind you, I grew up all my entire life in Uganda, and Nairobi, Kenya was the first place I visited out of Uganda. Before I dive into the vlog too, if this is the first time you're watching me, hi there, I'm Tanyani Shylock. I'm a Ugandan content creator currently residing in Nairobi, Kenya. I can't believe that actually I'm saying that. It's a dream come true. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share out with friends and family. Yes. So you guys, this brings me to the first culture shock I really want to talk about in today's vlog. This is men growing hair. If you are familiar from back in Kampala, Uganda, you know that you guys, culture and society, and I'm not saying that in Nairobi, Kenya, there isn't any culture and society, but specifically for Uganda, there is a way how they look at men who grow hair. Generally, there are a lot of stereotypes attached onto that particular character, and you realize that even in schools, from primary school to universities, men cut their hair to low cuts, like how the cut I have. This is a cut I came with from Uganda, and I've realized that a lot of my friends here in Nairobi, Kenya, especially those I've met online, by the way, talking about meeting you guys online, I've met a lot of you guys in real person, and you are amazing. You are amazing. That's why I love this place, because you guys are amazing. But a lot of friends who have met, who I have met here from online, they have realized that I do really cut very low cuts, and someone told me that those low cuts are for grandfathers, and it also comes to life very well, because almost every other youth around my age, mind you, I'm 26, almost 27, they have hair. They either have low dreadlocks, low cuts, and all that. But guys, in Uganda, it is completely different. Here in Nairobi, Kenya, men even have long dreadlocks, like long dreadlocks. Remember this time around, I did use a bus from Kampala, Uganda. That story time is definitely coming. But I did use a bus from Kampala, Uganda, all the way to Nairobi, Kenya, and I kid you not, the amount of men I saw with long hair, long dreadlocks, twists. Can you imagine? I saw a guy with twists, cornrows, and I'm not, talking about this in a bad way, but it's just different. See, and this is what I was looking for. Moving out of my comfort zone, coming to places I've never been to explore more culture, more behavioral patterns between different societies and communities, and it is literally what I've been served. Yes, I've seen men with cornrows, I've seen men with twists, I've seen men with dreadlocks, I've seen men with, that puff kind of hair. And it's amazing in its own way to see guys living their life from that particular perspective of life, completely different from where I come from. Yeah, maybe someone might ask me, oh, Tanya, where you come from? What are some of the stereotypes attached to men growing hair? I think the craziest one is that such men, they tend to be, thieves. Yes, they tend to be thieves. They tend to be thugs. They tend to be scammers. In Uganda, that is what people think of such people. Yes, and also other things, they don't take care of their kids. They are, petty men. They are mama's boys, things of that sort. This brings me to the second culture shock I want to talk about as a Ugandan living in Nairobi, Kenya right now. You guys, the education system in Nairobi, Kenya is completely different from the education system back in Uganda. Guys, here they no longer use primary, nursery, primary, secondary, and university. No, they no longer use that. They actually use it the other way around. I think Gabriel explained to me like 5 years ago, yeah, I believe like 5 years ago, their system did change completely. They used to also have the same system we have in Uganda, but right now I think they have junior school. They also have senior school, and also those different levels, they have specific years. For example, junior school, I think, goes from grade 1 to grade 9. And before, proceeding from grade 9 to senior school, there are national examinations they do. They have specific numbers, yeah, that every other time whenever they do exams, their exams are attached onto that number, and they use the same number till university. And for me it was quite a big amazing thing to know that even a country in our region such as Kenya, they no longer use the same system we use. Guys, in Uganda things are quite hard, especially when it comes to education. Okay, maybe right now they have tried to change and bring in the new curriculum, but it actually resembles the old curriculum. There isn't anything big or much. By the time I went for secondary school and A levels, things were really, really, really very, very hard, very, very hard. And looking into the system right now, because I've been able to interact with a lot of kids, for example, who are in not a lot of kids, but some kids definitely. And some of them, one of them has told me that they are in grade 9, and we have had a good conversation. And literally from talking to him, I can literally feel like he's in a place where he can be able to utilize his talents education wise to the maximum. And the same applies to the girl I also talked to. It is literally the same thing. So I just believe that over time the education has really, really changed, and I just hope that we can copy the same thing back in Uganda. But the education system, my dears, completely different. And there are also students who don't offer mathematics. Mind you, back in Uganda, primary and secondary O levels, mathematics is compulsory. Here it is completely different. According to how the child actually performs over time, that is what will boost their pathway in life. Yes. So guys, I feel like I haven't explained this very well, but I want to try to re-explain it because I know a couple of you guys might have a couple of questions. But Kenya's new curriculum of education, basically they have 4 different levels: the early years of education, the middle school, the senior school, and the university. Yes, the early years of education, we expect there to be in primary generally. Pre-primary school, it is 2 years. Then lower primary school, it is 3 years. But when they are graduating to go to middle school, they do a national exam. It is known as KEPSEA, Kenya Primary School Education Assessment Exam, I think. Correct me in the comment section below, guys, if I'm wrong, especially those who have the right information about this. But they do that exam that introduces them to middle school. But mind you, they are given an assessment number which they'll be using till university. It is a special number for each kid, and it is given in grade 3. And also that national exam, KEPSEA, it only contributes, I believe, 60%, but the 40%, it is whatever they have been doing since grade 1. And teachers have the ability to access the NEC, that is the examination body, where they can be able to download assessments. After the kids doing assessment, we upload them back so that they can also contribute to the KEPSEA when grade 6 comes. So in middle school, it is actually graded also into 2. There is upper primary and lower primary or lower secondary school. Usually both levels are 3 years. Now, before the kid graduates to senior school, there is also another exam that is in grade 9. It is called KEJSEA. Now, KEJSEA, it is Kenya Junior Secondary Examination Assessment. It is also an exam that kids do at that particular level before they enter into senior school. Now, when they reach senior school, things will change a little bit because now they're expected to choose pathways. Now, a student who has been performing very well in sciences, there are 3 different pathways. There is STEM, there is social sciences, and there are arts. In STEM, a kid does all, like, I'll just call them like course units. There is science, there is technology, there is engineering, and there is also mathematics. Kids who are going to be picking another pathway in social science will be doing humanitarian kind of subjects, languages, and business studies or business courses. And kids who will be doing arts and sports will definitely be doing now sports science, performing arts, and sports things of a sort. Then when they pass very well all those different pathways that they have chosen with their parents basing on their performance over the period of time, then they can go to university where they spend around 3 years to 5 years basing on the course or basing on the units they are going to be taking per the career. Guys, I want to talk about the third thing, and by this I really don't know a lot of, I have mixed feelings about it. First of all, as Africans, because Kenyans remain Africans, and we are very, very more related than we think. So there is birthday prostitution in Nairobi, Kenya. Yes, there is birthday prostitution, and for me it was a culture shock in a way that 10 a.m. mind you, arrived in Nairobi via Westlands to Riverside. Yeah, Riverside. I think it is River Road or Riverside, one of the two, where there is the Kampala building. Definitely, I'll try to put it on screen so that you guys can see. But you guys, the amount of young girls, and for me, what was literally hyperbole to me, it was that these were young girls. You would definitely see that these are girls in 18, 19, 20, 22, 25, and it is really, really sad. Really, really very, very sad. I don't have a lot of information to say about this. In Kampala, Uganda, there is prostitution. I won't say that we are the holiest place, but at least they do this prostitution maybe trying to hide themselves or very late in the night or things of a sort. But broad day, I'm talking about 10 a.m. in the morning. 10 a.m. in the morning. Very, very surprised. Very, very surprised. Up to now, I haven't healed very well. And for me, the most tearing thing was that these were young women. Like young women. I'm not talking about I'm not saying that the older ones should do it, but for me, seeing young girls, and I've seen young girls achieve big things. Young girls becoming professors and holding very, very big positions over time, and someone just channeling their lives into prostitution in a country which is amazing and beautiful and full of opportunities as Nairobi, Kenya. There are questions to be answered indeed. So you guys, this brings me to the fourth thing I want to talk about. This is affordable internet. You guys have affordable internet, but it is not all, roses, yeah? Because I realized that you guys have a couple of internet providers. You have Airtel, you have Safaricom, you have Fibia, I think. You have Power, you have Telcom, you have like a couple of them, but it doesn't mean that all of them, they are that affordable. But comparing to where I come from and compared to here, I just think that you guys get good deals, especially on Wi-Fi bundles, than the day-to-day phone cellular bundles. And I'll say this because the second time I arrived, as I told you, I passed via Busia to Kisumu, taking that route to Nairobi. The bus which we are in had uninterrupted Wi-Fi, and I'm not saying this in one way or another to seem that since the bus was coming from Uganda, but when we arrived in Nairobi, it still had the same Wi-Fi working very, very well, very, very fast. Mind you, I used that Wi-Fi to upload a video or two. When I arrived in Nairobi, like this, the bus station, that is Babeto Coaches, they have offices at Riverside, which previously I talked about where I found birthday prostitution. The internet was fast and quite fast, not even quite, but it was fast, and it was 5G. Then, coming to visit my friends, for example, visiting Gabriel, their internet is fast, especially now. The pro con, okay, maybe the bad side of it, I think they might have this data cap. It is called the data cap or policy use, in case you are actually uploading quite heavy files, or in case you are using a little bit of much data, they reduce on the speed. But since I visited, the internet has really been fast. I can literally call in Uganda via WhatsApp. I can see TikTok, I can see messages. Very, 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 very fast. And also for that, I think we have to just communicate to the provider so that we can know, either to increase for us the speed, since, content creation, we need to update you guys with videos and all that. But generally, very, very affordable, and you get quite enough data, especially unlimited in the unlimited dream, compared to what you would get in Uganda. Now, for example, I'll give you an example. 2,000 Kenyan shillings, it is like 60,000 Ugandan shillings, and you can get unlimited data with that. Can you imagine? In Uganda, there is no way you can get unlimited data for 60,000 Ugandan shillings or 2,000 Kenyan shillings. It is not there. Believe it or not. Ask Ugandans. Ask Ugandans. Our data start from 10,000, and even it's not unlimited. They just give you like 20 gigabytes, especially Airtel. They give you like 20 gigabytes for 10,000 Kenyan shillings. That is approximately 300,000 Ugandan shillings. Yes, maybe also another thing related to this. You guys, you have 5G. You guys are living in 5G, man. Yes, I really, really love that too. And the first time I came here, I think I never realized it very well. But this time around, as I perused through to Nairobi and seeing how fast the internet was and realizing it at the back up on my connections, yeah, very, very shocked. Guys, this brings me to that next culture shock. This one is South Sudanese. Guys, I thought only in Uganda we have South Sudanese, and in a good way, yes. But also in Nairobi, Kenya, they are South Sudanese. And I'm always happy to find these guys. Mind you, I went to school. I had friends from South Sudan. That was during O levels and maybe late primary. By then, wars had just started breaking in Sudan before South Sudan, separated from Sudan. And for me, living in a place where you can find people from all different regions. Mind you, South Sudan right now, it's part of the East African community. There are people who are trying to discriminate or go against these guys. You're doing the wrong thing. We are the same people. For me, just seeing South Sudanese passing via me in Nairobi streets, I'm so freaking happy. You can't literally know. It just feels so good to have a country or a community where all of us can come as Ugandans, as South Sudanese, as people from all other nationalities. I'm not talking about all other nationalities because it's okay, and I've been seeing you guys. But what seems not to be okay, especially to some people out there, it is that people from South Sudan or Sudan shouldn't travel here. They should travel here because they are part of the East African community, and all of us as Kenyans go to Uganda, they can also come to Kenya. As Ugandans go to Kenya, also Kenyans can go to Uganda and can go to South Sudan, and all our nationalities have businesses in all those different East African communities. I was very shocked and I was very happy about it, to be very, very honest with you guys. It is just like having a cohort of community which literally just pushes bliss out of your soul always. Always and always and always. And for me, that is my happy place. I call it my sweet place. That is my sweet place to be. To be in a community where we can see that we can, warmly welcome anyone, and freely people can work and can visit, can do everything they can do basing on the East African community kind of contract or agreement. Yes. Guys, I would love to talk about this point, but also it comes from a good place because this is a new community I'm in and I'm trying to learn a lot of different things. I've realized that, guys, quite many people here have that brown lining on their teeth. I don't know if it is, something they are using, might be a drug, might be something related to food, it might be something else. I really don't know. But there is a brown line between some people's teeth. I don't know if it's a particular community, but it has been shocking to me that's walking to find a Somali with that line, to finding a Kenyan with that line, maybe a Kikuyu Masai, to finding another person who you can't determine their tribe in a good way, but having that brown lining on their teeth. And for me, initially, I thought that maybe it is, people, maybe hygiene, but I think it's more than hygiene. Probably something they use that is literally staining their teeth. Let me know in the comment section below if it is quite normal or it is, but I just wanted to bring it that way so that you guys can help me, bring me a little bit of light on that. As a person who have suffered with my teeth for a very, very long time, I really, really know the struggle. So I'm not shaming anyone here, but I really want to know. There are very, very quite a big number of people with that brown lining on their teeth, and it is always shocking. I literally just want to know what is like the primary cause. So also guys, I would love to talk about what I realized in the Rift Valley, that is immediately from Kisumu via Kerisho. And guys, that region, people do rear horses like how they rear cattle or cattle, yeah. And it was surprising to me, and I was really very shocked because I've never been or I've never seen a community where you like on the road and you can see like maybe first of all see like 10 horses being grazed, then you see like 30 horses, then you see like 3 horses, then all that region is literally people in that region, they somehow rear horses. So I really also wanted to know because it shocked me a little bit. I was asking myself, is it for meat? Is it for, transportation? And all horses of all different sizes. So those horses for quite a big distance while we are cruising through I think Nandi land or via the Rift Valley. Is it only that community? Or it is a business that side? Yes. Last culture shock I really want to talk about in today's vlog. I'll definitely do a part 3 because you guys, there are very many. This is chemists. You guys have chemists. Like back in Uganda, initially when I saw chemists, when I was entering via Busia, I was like, chemists? But they looked like to be dispensaries or drug shops. Back in Uganda, I call them drug shops. But coming in, they are now called chemists. So chemists, I think they are like pharmacies or drug shops, and they have consultation rooms just behind. Guys, I didn't know that. Back in Uganda, I've just seen, drug shops or clinics or medical centers, but they don't call them chemists. And also most of the time drug shops, they don't have consultation rooms. You just go there to buy drugs, or you just go to a pharmacy to buy drugs which have been prescribed by either a clinic officer, maybe a nurse who literally knows the drug and the condition, maybe a medical doctor. Yes, most of the time medical doctors and clinic officers tend to prescribe drugs back in Uganda by their bodies that take them. The way how their pharmacies or drug shops are designed, they literally have the word like chemists, consultation, blood, malaria testing, HIV testing and counseling, and you can also see drugs inside there. So Gabriel informed me that most of the time it's a collaboration between the drug shop or the pharmacy and maybe a clinic officer, or literally the vice versa. Yeah. And also maybe something I would love to add on just a little bit, it is how expensive it is to literally get consultation this side. Yeah, it is quite expensive. 800, I'm forgetting, 600, 900, I think around 900 Kenyan shillings. Yeah, around 900 Kenyan shillings, which is about 28,000 Ugandan shillings in that particular drug shop. Mind you, in Uganda, the same money you can use it to to get the same treatment before even you get the consultation. So in Uganda, I think that is one thing I've copped here. We have to maybe elevate ourselves. When patients come in, let's ask them for consultation fee, because you guys here, when you go into a clinic or that chemist place, you are going to pay a consultation fee. Yes, there is a consultation fee. After paying the consultation fee, then they charge you per everything that is going to be used. Each thing or each drug, they are going to be charging it separately. Even the giving sets, I also believe the cannulas. So for me, as a nurse who have practiced for the last almost 5 years, almost actually 6 years, looking into it and comparing it back at home, it was literally quite expensive, and it literally somehow shocked me. Maybe it also left me with a picture that chemists or medical or health workers here in Nairobi, Kenya, are literally taking the whole bag. Because I just counted now, in case you get 3,000 a day times 3, not times 3, but times 10, that is 30,000. 30,000 is 900,000 Ugandan shillings. 900,000 Ugandan shillings. Almost that is the salary of a nurse deep in one village in Kampala, Uganda. So it just left also that picture in me that maybe health workers here, you guys are making some good money. With that said, guys, I really want to end off today's vlog here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Culture Shocks videos are still coming, because you guys, it's a lot to learn, a lot to see. cultural emancipation, if that's the right English. It is literally a lot, and I just want to bring you along throughout the whole of those different stages or steps. With that said, guys, let me meet you in my next one. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell so that you know when I upload a new video. I'm in Nairobi. Tell your friend to tell our friend to tell our friend. Tanya is in Nairobi. Naki Nairobi.